fumes.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. We all know the drill. Probably not going to get to everyone. Pat Cummins, Australian captain, here today after the 5th and final Test match against India. So, someone want to lift hands up everywhere? I'll go with you, sir.
Pat, first of all, congratulations, a brilliant series for you guys. As a team, how much does this win mean to you? And as a captain, do you feel you have completed cricket now?
Unfortunately, I've got to keep playing. No, it's huge win. In the context of this series, it's as big a series as you're going to play at home. It felt like it was kind of seesawing throughout the whole series. So to finish it, 3-1 to hold the trophy is amazing feeling. And then I think the extra layer is now securing a spot in the World Test Championship final, which was always a huge goal for us, in this cycle. And we've done it. So really satisfied.
We'll stay on this side, guys, and then we'll come over there.
Patrick, just want to ask you, we've had numerous duels with Virat Kohli, on-field duels with Virat Kohli over the years, possibly his last Test series in Australia. If you could just sum up, how has it been competing with Virat in Test matches, especially on Australian side?
It's always been a wonderful contest. It's always, I think more than just the runs that he brings to the game, there's always a bit of added theatre, which is sometimes good. Sometimes it can roll you up as an opposition, which I'm sure is part of his plans. So it's if we don't get another chance, it's going to be a shame. I've always really enjoyed playing with him. He's been one of the star batters for the last decade or so. So, if you get his wicket, it goes a long way to winning a game. So, it'd be sad if it's his last series. But I always enjoyed playing against him.
Yeah, Dan.
The last time Australia won a series from 1-0 down was the 97 Ashes. Can you sort of say from experience how hard it's been to win this series from 1-0 down? How challenging that was?
I think being a 5 Test match series it helps, but as you saw with the Gabbies, do start thinking anything can happen, and then MCG goes down the last hour. You do feel like you might play really well and not have a series win to show for it. I think as well, when you start a series behind, a lot of things get questioned. Things fairly and unfairly. But again, I think it shows a strength of the group to kind of stay strong, know that we weren't at our best, but we can be better, not get caught up in a lot of the external noise and clutter, and just focus on what makes us good players and a good team. And really, that's one of the most kind of rewarding parts of this series win.
And just one on the fact that you've now got all trophies in Test cricket, and I think Australia have had that since 2008. Just how significant that is, and I guess also being able to do it, I suppose, the right way, obviously since 2018.
I mean, I didn't know that. We'd won kind of everything until half an hour ago. But I mean, that's always the aim. So, one of the things I love most about Test cricket is it challenges you in so many different ways. You need more than just 11 players. You need an amazing squad. You need amazing support staff to be able to win everywhere in the world. And I think that's what we've been able to do. Some amazing series in England, won the World Test Championship in England, but also some of those subcontinent tours, throughout the years. So I think that consistency over a few years to do that with a very similar squad has been, massive.
Ben, do you want to go?
Yeah, that's it was quite an incredible moment. Like Steve Smith getting out 1 run shy of the 10,000. I know that sort of the win is the bigger picture, but if you could, how was he sort of coming into the shed? So I guess that would have been a huge moment for him in front of his own crowd.
Yeah, the nervous 9990s. He was, I think he's, wanting to win the game. I was kind of hiding at the front, so I didn't see too much, but I think we all knew kind of what we're playing for and how big it was. So I dare say more so the moment of, wanting to be that match winner, being there at the end and not getting the opportunity, probably more so than the personal milestone. It would have been nice for him to get it at the SCG.
I'm coming over this way, guys, so just hold you.
Pat, you touched on, you thought there was fairly questioned and unfairly questioned. Are you able to elaborate on what you think some of the fair and unfair things that were questioned after the first Test work?
Yeah, I think preparation, I was really happy with our preparation going in the first test. I think, if you don't play well, that gets questioned, but if you do play well, people just forget about that. I think, team unity, we were, always, well, for the most part, we're always really good. This summer we've been awesome. The group's been really tight and very honest, and knew that we weren't at our best. So, a couple of those things that play out inevitably when you lose, that happens. But again, I think, things like we weren't at our best. That's fair. But as I said, before, I think overcoming that and staying strong is easier, said than done.
Pat, Bo Webster goes from being on the fringes throughout the whole series and gets a go in the final test. What do you make of his contribution in this test? And hitting the winning runs too, what was that like in the moments after you got us graded?
Yeah, Bo was huge this test. I think he's one of those quintessential all-rounders where you feel like they're going to contribute in every facet of the game. That's what he does for Tasmania. I'm here. And he proved that, this test match, really important overs, thought he bowled beautifully, some great catches, and 2 really important knocks. So he just feels like he always is involved with the game. He couldn't have had a better debut. I think he was right beside Scotty as player of the match.
Pat, congratulations. I just want to ask, can you just tell us that what happened after that Perth test? What changed? Because off the field there were a lot of things written about you, your team, the form of the players, Manas, everyone. There were a lot of questions about off-field and on-field things. What happened? Because after that you guys were always ahead. We know Brisbane, where Brisbane was going if it was a full game. So can you talk us through that what happened after Perth?
I think more importantly, it's what you don't change. Of course, after a loss like that, you reassess where you're at. But we're really happy with how most of the guys were going. Thought we had a bad week, but thought our game plans, methods, selection, all that was pretty much where we wanted it to be. But maybe our execution was a little bit off. So as you said, each individual kind of had a few things to work on. Marnus worked so hard and wanted to change the way he wanted to approach the game. For us bowlers, maybe a little bit execution as well as maybe some slight bowling changes once you've had a look at the opposition. But, I think you can very easily panic in those situations, change a lot. I think it's more important to realise we're still number 1 in the world. We're a very good team. Stay strong.
Last one on the left.
Playing in front of massive crowds in Adelaide and then crowds in Melbourne and here in Sydney, how does it feel coming off the win, doing that for Australia in front of so many people?
It's so much fun. I think, first of all, we all grew up watching Test cricket, loving it. So to be right there in the mix, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else in the world for these couple of months. Just wherever we went around the country, it was so well supported. Felt like everyone was talking about it. And yeah, just so much fun. Last week in Melbourne, I've never seen anything like it. And then it was much the same here in Sydney. People seeing hundreds of metres of people lining up at 7 o'clock in the morning to get in for day one. It's really special. It's such a special sport that we get to play, and it just seems like every year it gets better and better.
Maybe stuff on here, last one on the left.
Pat,
You're right.
Thanks, Cole. Pat, Andrew McDonald sort of said last night that he was disappointed with the way that the Indian players sort of got around, even in Sam Cox's face after day one. The Indian coaches sort of just come in now and said that that it's soft to think that was the wrong thing to have done. I just wondered what you made of that incident, and just about Sam, whether you feel any need as captain to have a chat to him about engaging with other players on the field, and just how you want him to bat going forward to the next series that you're playing.
Yeah, I think first of all, obviously ICC and Annie Pycroft set the rules and set the punishments. We saw that in Melbourne with Virat, 20%. That's what they thought. So it doesn't really matter what we think. They set the rules. So obviously that's the standard that they're happy with. I think in regards to Sam, I think I've been really impressed with how he's gone about it. I think people mistake a bit of confidence with bullying or abuse. You're allowed to walk around with your shoulders puffed back and play a few cricket shots. I don't think that's illegal, but some people really take offence to that and want to kind of put him back in his place. So for us, it's always just and we say the same to all our players, is just bring yourself every day. Be yourself. Go about it how you think represents yourself the best and how you want to play. And I think he's been really good this series. He's stood up for himself when he's needed to.
Okay, right side.
How much Bumrah's absence was a factor in India's victory? Could it have been a little more closer had Bumrah's been fit to go?
I mean, going off the rest of the series, you'd say so. Every time he bowled, he seemed to have an impact and took some key wickets. So, no doubt that helped our chase a little bit.
Thank you. Yeah. Just in terms of your personal contribution, obviously wickets are there, but to be able to contribute to the lower order runs, which could potentially have been there, series changes. There is Melbourne here. How rewarding has it been for you to be able to do that?
It's been really rewarding. I think over the last few years, how you bowl to the opposition tail and how we as a tail bat can really have decided a lot of test matches. So we put a big emphasis on that coming in. We wanted some really clear plans when we were batting, but also when we were bowling. And fortunately, I think just about all of us who got a chance in the tail at different parts made it tough for the opposition and stuck and did an important partnership when needed.
Where were we? Down the front. Yeah, I'll work my way that way, guys. So I'll get to you.
Pat, well done on the win. A lot has happened in the series in the opposite dressing room. You were surprised when Ashwin called it a day, and now this test, Rohit didn't turn up. He said that he's opting out of the game. A lot of damage have been inflicted to the opposition dressing room. So what is your group's assessment of what's happening there? And were you surprised that Rohit didn't walk out for the toss?
I think you're always surprised, when the captain kind of doesn't play. And same with Ashwin retiring. But honestly, it doesn't really affect us at all. You just turn up and you see who's going to be on the team sheet, and you play whoever 11 they put out there. So honestly, it's been very little conversation in our change room about what's going on there.
Pat, congratulations. We can see and hear really, what a family unit this is. What does it mean to be able to share a win like this with your family and for the whole squad too? And I guess further to that as well, do you know what your Sri Lanka tour looks like, or if you're able to go across?
Yeah, it's such a special time of the year. It starts with Melbourne, Christmas Day, and having all the families there on the MCG and being there for the Boxing Day test, and then we all come up to Sydney as a group. So I think it feels like, I don't know, there's so many kids running around at the moment. It's chaos, but it's great fun around the hotel. All the partners, get on really well, and they have a lot of fun together as well. So, they do sacrifice a lot. We travel in a busy year, can be close to 300 days on the road. So the family's very much part of what we do and sacrifice a lot. So sharing moments like today with them makes it extra special. In terms of Sri Lanka, we'll wait and see. Becky's hanging on at the moment, so we'll play it by ear. But I think, most likely I might struggle to get over there.
Yeah, just behind you.
After Sri Lanka got the World Test Championship final as well, how significant is it for you, having the chance to defend the Mace and taking on South Africa in June at Lords?
It's huge for us. We talk about the World Test Championship a lot. It's the trophy we're really proud to hold, so we want to go back and defend it. Like we were saying before, I think it's a great tournament in that you've got to play well consistently and across all different conditions against different teams. And it's great to be there again, and can't wait to get over there.
Cool.
Man of the match, you talked about his importance before, but this test will so long.
Oh, he's just so good, Scotty. I love him. He's whenever he comes in, you just know he's a seasoned pro. He's been doing it for years for Victoria, and he's well and truly good enough in Test cricket. He proves it time and time again. As a captain, he's a dream because he just loves bowling. He bowls uphill into the wind a lot of the time as well, so his figures are probably better than what they show. But he's just, what you're going to get from Scotty, and it's class every day. And so happy for him to take 10 far.
Ash, did you have one?
You talked about Bo before, but we don't quite know when Cam's going to be back in the fold. But can you see a team where him and Bo feature in the same side, and you've had Mitchell and Cam there this time? Do you see it working again?
Yeah, of course. When you kind of build the package together, it's you think if they're in the best kind of 6 batters, but also they can contribute a little bit with the ball. Both amazing kind of gully second, third slip fielders as well. Absolutely. So, just because he's an all-rounder doesn't mean that we can't have two of them.
Remo?
Actually, what your thoughts on the pitch were, and really slightly conflicted looking at it as a fast bowler and also as a captain who's 2-1 up in the series and needing a draw.
It's very different to any other SCG pitch I've seen. Had a lot of bounce and obviously a lot of grass and seed movement. I think, it was. I probably prefer that to a flat, slow one that fizzled out to a draw. But it was definitely spicy. So, I think it's the same for both teams. I really like that the roundsmen try to put a lot of life into it. At times, it's probably doing a lot, but I think I'd much prefer Test cricket to be like that rather than fizzled out to boring draws.
Can you give an insight into what Mitch Stark had to do to get up to this game, and also for yourself playing 5 tests on the trot physically? How's it going?
Nothing different really in terms of getting up for it. You just rest up and you know it's going to be hard work. But you know you're going to be fine. To be honest, probably a bit sorer than I thought it was going to be in that day 1 or 2. And Mitch is a bit the same. I was feeling all right until I had to bowl and put the bowling shoes on. But again, I had a really good lead into the summer, so I actually felt like for the first 4 tests I was as fresh as I've ever been for Test cricket, and this one, after I bowled, a bit sorer than normal, but just tired. Nothing to be worried about. So one last push and it's fine.
For you, when there's a WTC final, of course, but as a captain, you're one daily everything. What's your motivation going to be going forward? Do you see yourself as a responsibility to have some kind of a succession at some point? And how does it feel to talk at the press conference? It's such a. What do you think?
I think. First of all, I just absolutely love what I do. So, that's probably the biggest driver in wanting to play Test cricket and work with this team and support staff, and I absolutely love everything about it. It's so much fun. So, if I could keep doing it for a little while, even better. I think. Sorry, what was the second part of that? Succession. You always talk about it. Absolutely. We've got obviously 2 vice captains in the team. We've had 3 debutants this series. You're always balancing between kind of the here and now, but also you've got a bit of an eye to the future. So they're conversations that we always have. I don't think there's any point in doing things just for the sake of it. Those can play out over the next couple of years, few years, but of course we're always thinking about that. And then, it's great having Albs and Becky, they're gone now, but it's, again, being able to bring them on tour and, once this Test match finishes, go back to just being a full-time dad and husband, even a better job than being a Test captain. Love it, so feel very lucky.
Right.
I was just going to ask about Albie's fashion being better than yours. Just again on captaincy, 5 Test match series, you've done a few of these now. The series scoreline says 3-1, but it's probably closer than that. So how much did you grow as a captain in the last 8 or 9 weeks?
I don't know about the last 8 or 9 weeks. I think, you definitely draw experience from past Ashes series or big series. I think, probably one of the most important things is managing your resources throughout a 5 Test match series. So that's managing your bowlers' workload, but also your energy, making sure you're not kind of riding the waves too much, and have a really strong process and try to stick to that for the 5 Test matches. I think, over this course of series, you got to look at their opposition, so maybe your plans change a little bit. You get a bit of a feel of the kind of the tempo, and you try and maybe tweak that. I'd say they're probably the things I think about most over the course of 5 match series.
Scotty.
Just looking at Viders, there, a lot of talk about him this summer and his returns. What do you make of him today? Like, does it sort of show his value and work to the team, the way he's able to hold that chase together when it's falling around him? Sort of, how much longer do you see him playing Test cricket for Australia?
I felt very comfortable when he was out there batting. He looked so assured. I think, Aussies, we said it with Nathan McSweeney as well. It's literally doesn't get any harder than opening batting on these pitches against, a quality bowling attack. It's the hardest job in cricket. And I thought he looked really good at times. Sometimes he got some really good balls. I think, he looks like he's batting as well as, any other time. So probably overall didn't get the runs he would have liked, but you get innings like today where he just shows his maturity and experience is so valuable. So, yeah, who knows? I know he always says age is just a number. So took some good catches in the field as well, still moving all right. So, no end date from our end. See, as long as he's still scoring some runs.
Great. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.